I'm joined by Jeremy Wolf, Executive Director of More Than Baseball. Jeremy, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you being here. How's everything holding up during the quarantine?
I'm in Phoenix, and it's 72 and sunny every day. So we're hiking and we're swimming, and life is it's good out here. I guess we haven't had that much of a problem. I think we've had maybe 400 cases or 500 cases, so it really hasn't spread that here, which is good for friends and family. And but I know it's worse. Across the country, I got friends everywhere who are just in their homes, haven't left, and I know guys who have gotten sick, and so it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm jealous, man. 72 and sunny sounds pretty good. You got a lot of wide open space out there in Arizona. I'm actually probably more along the lines of your friends. Yeah, I'm in North Jersey, so we have a lot of cases going on here, and
I
then
can't think of a worse place to be.
yeah, no,
Even without the quarantine, I can't even.
oh my,
Terrible.
my parents are like, yeah, you can't leave the house. I'm like, I gotta go do things. Like I'm dying to get a haircut. I'm dying to go to the gym. No, you gotta work out downstairs.
Yeah.
But no, you know what, man? I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you have a lot going on, so I just kind of wanted to see what you're up to. And you're the executive director of More Than Baseball. It's a nonprofit organization that focuses primarily on serving minor league athletes. Can you dive into really what you guys do and how it really started?
Yeah. We provide minor league baseball players with housing, food, equipment, career services, financial guidance, mental health coaching, nutrition coaching, everything that the players, get. We never want, players to struggle playing minor league baseball. It's a problem because these guys are making between $3,000 and $10,000 a year. And so we provide them access to all of these different resources that are going to make playing a lot easier. So a lot of our work comes from understanding that, what's going to make this player play better, what's going to increase his development, what's going to make him more efficient, what's going to make him recover. And it's providing him access to all of these resources. And so we're a nonprofit, sure, because we're able to work in the space as a nonprofit. We're able to take in donations from Adam Wainwright, who donated $250,000, and Daniel Murphy, who gave $100,000, and a bunch of different companies who have given between $100,000 and $300,000. Like we're bringing in the money to allow these players the opportunity to play better at their job, and so this money is going to our player grant program. And we have that because of the issues that are going on right now. A lot of these guys are struggling. MLB is giving them $400 a week until May 31st. But until that point, we don't know. And $400 a week isn't going to pay for rent. It's not going to, pay for their rent and all their expenses. What it's going to do is it's going to ease the struggles just a bit until that time comes, right? Until May 31st. So we have to, we can create an impact now by allowing these players the opportunity to seek a bit of assistance. And we were never designed to give money. The whole point was to build a community and a network that they can use, to make it easier to play. But then Adam Wainwright was like, hey, I want to help support my Cardinals players. Is this something you guys can do? And so the Player Grant Program is a need-based grant system. And so just like for colleges and universities who give scholarship, it's the same sort of thing. It's who needs it the most. And so we take every player in, we analyze, we evaluate what each player is consistently, what his priority is, if it's low, medium, high, and then we'll give him that grant based on his need from Adam. And so the whole point of More Than Baseball is to be a place of assistance for players and teams, and we always wanted to work within the system to do this. And so
Right.
I played for the New York Mets in 2016, 2017, was a 31st round pick. And this is not a place of advocacy. This is not a place of screaming from the rooftops and begging for things to change. This is seeing the problem, it's analyzing the problem, it's figuring out what we can do within the system to change the system, but we're doing it ourselves. We work with MLB, we work with MLBPA, they know who we are, they know what we're doing, we have a footing in the game, but we speak about baseball the right way. And we're making the changes that we see fit as fans of baseball and people who want what's best for the game, and what's best for the game is the assistance of minor league baseball players. That's
More
the
suggestion.
Huh?
Right, you just alluded to the foothold. It's more suggestions than critiques because just to, I guess, make it so they don't take anything the wrong way type of thing.
Yeah, so if you go on our website, it's all about building our game's future. What can we do to make baseball a better place? How can we use these players in the community to show people why baseball matters, why these minor leaguers matter? It's never about pleading and begging and asking them to pay the players more. It's not about that. It's what can I do to help a kid perform better today, to help a player perform better today. So I'm a tool for development. I'm a tool for the kid, for the player, right, to use our resources that will help him sleep better, recover better, help him get one more hit a week. But I can work with Oakland or Toronto or Cleveland and say, you bring me in, and I can ensure that we're going to do the research. We're going to build a proposal. We're going to implement all of these different things with your player development staff that are going to make your players play better. We're filling in the holes that just are lacking right now in professional baseball. We're a service. We're a tool that can be used to make it more efficient to develop an athlete.
What was the real starting point where you said, okay, you were a baseball player, you were in the Mets organization, you obviously know the ropes, and you were able to identify all these needs, and you were able to see where maybe there were some shortcomings, there was, abilities to improve, and there was opportunities for, things to be better. What was the actual point in time where you said, you know what, I can do something about this, and I want to start doing something and really assisting everybody else and really making these situations better?
In 2017, I played in Brooklyn for the Cyclones in low A, short season low A for the Mets, and I was injured at the end of the season, and then I was released before I could walk after my back surgery, right? So I was in need of – I had questions, and I didn't know where to go. And throughout that season, I had to pay for my own equipment, and I was making – my signing bonus was, $5,000. I had to get my own equipment. There wasn't a discount even through the team. There were some nights where we weren't fed before or after games. So throughout the season, I would email beef jerky companies like, hey, we love your product. Would you be willing to send a box to us? And we'll post photos on social media. I was leveraging my power as a minor league player, as a professional athlete, to receive free product. And we took this idea and we scaled it out. Mm-hmm. And we figured, well, why don't we build an organization that does this for players and not just teach kids the lessons, right, of how to do this themselves, which they can do. But I wanted to create a network and a marketplace that can assist minor league baseball players. I was too afraid to go to my team for a lot of the questions I had, and I didn't know anybody else because my teammates. Sorry about that. You still there?
Yep.
Okay. Because I didn't know the answer, and so when it came to workers' comp questions, when it came to career transitioning, when it came to building a resume, when it came to my financial future, when it came to all of these things, there was no support system in minor league baseball yet, and I knew that that there needed to be something in place that can assist the 6,000 professional baseball players. And I Save America's Pastime Act came out in March of 2018. It's a bill, and a congressional spending bill that says minor league baseball players are 40-hour-a-week workers, and they are not recognized for overtime pay or overtime hours, right? Even though I was clearly working 80 hours a week, clearly an employee of this organization, but because of all this, the multitude of different bills, the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938 says that minor league baseball players are seasonal interns and not full-time workers, even though in my contract it says I must be able to perform in my duties 12 months a year, even though I'm under contract for 7 years. So I'm considered an intern, even though all of these different things. And I was tired of the animosity between public sentiment and what's actually going on. And so I personally wanted to create an environment that recognizes the struggles of minor league baseball, but acknowledges that there's ways to fix it without having to argue for things that people didn't want, right? Mm-hmm. And so the whole shut up and dribble thing you're just an athlete. Shut up. I would do this for free. Well, that's fine. You can believe that. But let me show you what these players are actually going through. And let me provide things for players that definitely need to be provided for, that aren't provided by the team, right? So for full season players, it's housing, right? Players have to find their own housing. So instead of begging the team to help them with housing, why don't we build an organization that helps players access housing affordably, works with companies that will give them the apartments for a lower rate, where we can find an affordable mattress for them, where they're not sleeping on air mattresses, shacking up 7 to an apartment. For a lot of the Latin guys, they don't speak English. So they're expected to find housing without speaking English and being able to afford a place to live. It just doesn't work a lot of the times. And they have no place to go, right? And so there's a need there. Can somebody come in and fill that need for Latin guys? And we were going to do a bunch of that stuff this year, but the season never started.
Right, of course.
So we started in 2018. March of 2018, Slade Heathcott, 10-year minor leaguer, former first-round pick with the New York Yankees, jumped in about August of 2018. And then Simon Rosenblum-Larson, who's currently high A or double A with the Rays, was like a 19th round pick, jumped in later in 2018, about September or October. And so every day since then, we're working on different ways to make it easier to play minor league baseball. Simple as that.
No, that, you know what, there's a lot of great stuff that you're doing, and, I can hear the passion and the direction you have. So with that being said, where do you see the future going? You're going to continue to build, but is there a specific direction that you hopefully want to reach one day with?
Yeah. I don't want to do it. If I am not doing this, that means things are better.
Right.
That means the system itself has fixed itself, right? Or that we've been part of the solutions to this problem. Do I think that's going to happen? What I expect over the next 2 years is that there will be a cut in minor league baseball. There was already a proposed cut to cut 42 teams. Because of the pandemic, they would now cutting the draft to 5 rounds this year, to 20 rounds next year. Players are not under a uniform player contract right now, and some may be let go as the season starts this year, or going into next year, whatever happens. So there will be less players in minor league baseball over the next 2 years. Does that mean the environment for minor league baseball players will be better? I don't know. Now, they're already going to get a 25% pay cut depending on the level where they're at, those for next year. 25%, though, of $3,000 to $10,000. Right? So there are all of these little changes that are happening, but there's no clear organization that's going to take them in, right? There's no clear representation of them, that can assist them on a daily basis. There's none of that except for us. And so I hope to have the opportunity to do this as a full-time endeavor, right? I hope that More Than Baseball will allow me the opportunity to do this as a profession. Does it mean a group of players are going to bring us in? Does that mean MLB is going to bring us in, MLBPA, et cetera, et cetera? I don't know yet. What I think will happen is that all of these cuts will happen. We're going to assist these players as they move throughout the career transitioning process. We're going to make sure that, I'm lucky to have been able to do this at this time, right? To have this footing, to have over 1,000 players signed in, and hopefully every player by the end of this pandemic. I hope that every player works with us as they transition onto something else, or as they continue to stay in minor league baseball. And so I believe working with a group of teams, I believe that working with a group of major leaguers and minor league players, I believe that working with minor league organizations to assist them winning more games, assisting their community, I think we have a purpose in all of this. But both Simon, Slade, and I, we're looking and we're searching for opportunities to do this as a full time. Right now we do it 24 hours a day anyway. But we're finding ways to make it our job. And if I can do this full time, think of the good that will come out of this, both on a community level by building fields in Dominican and Tampa and Austin, Texas, and Phoenix, Arizona.
Sure.
But by the good that will come out of working with a major league team to make sure that a minor league player can sleep better at night, right? And if he's recovering, he's going to perform better. And so I have all of my fingers in different areas, And we're just finding ways to have the opportunity to focus on this full time. And that's a lot of work. But that's our goal. Is we are right now the only organization in baseball that's doing this for players, right? And so someone's got to be there to assist, and we're looking for the opportunity to do it, full time.
No, you make a lot of great points, and you have a bunch of different avenues and things that you're looking at. So with that being said, because you alluded to earlier, Adam Wainwright and Daniel Murphy. So I actually did read that they had a very nice contribution to More Than Baseball. What other contributions from major leaguers, if any, have you been getting? Has anybody else been getting in touch with you aside from those guys?
Right now we're doing the player grant program is with a company called Our Baseball Life, which are a group of players' families and players' wives that major league and minor league families who basically built a network to assist each other with something that they need. So we're working with them and their connections to bring more major leaguers on board. Our goal for this whole project is $2 million. We're bringing $2 million to the organization. We can give every player, at least $1,000, which is going to go a long way when you're making less than $10 for an entire season. Which, if the season doesn't even start, who knows? Guys can't make an income right now, except for these $400 a week, which is a raise for a lot of these players. And so, once that is over, how can they perform at their job? How can they improve as a baseball player? How can they take care of their family? How can they take care of themselves? Do they have a place to live? It's a lot. There's a lot of unknown right now, unfortunately.
Have you heard anything in terms of when the baseball season is going to start? If it starts, anything from an inside source you could share?
No, we haven't heard anything about the season. I personally don't think. I don't think that there's going to be a season this year. I hope.
Period.
Baseball's great. Right now, golf says it's coming back. No fans. They're doing like the Dallas in June 11th to 14th.
Right.
Is that going to be the catalyst to bring more things back? Well, that's 6 weeks, close to 2 months away. 2 months away. It's 2 months away. So, can you get a season in? Maybe it's 60 games. Maybe it's something. Are fans going to go out? Are they even going to be allowed to go out? Will they lift the ban on 10 people? We don't know. We don't know anything right now. We're preparing for there to be no season. And if there's a season, that's great. But if not, we're going to have to find a way to work with that, work with our players on that, and find them assistance where we can assist.
Well, it's funny you say that because I was watching the video earlier today and reading comments from Mike Trout saying, I just don't know how realistic it is that they want to do in Arizona, and I think it was Florida, where maybe they have games and games only there, but no fans are allowed. But then he's like, well, what about the broadcast crew, the grounds crew, all these different people that have to get in and out, and are players going to only be able to leave their hotel rooms just to go play and not do anything else? Like, this doesn't sound realistic. And, you make a great point. It's, it's terrible that sports are being canceled, but then he raises a great point. If this is how it is it even worth it to play?
Yeah, there's that. There's the issues of, can they see their family once they're with the player, like their players, and could they not be close to the umpire? Like, there's so many different little things. But if one player gets sick, if you force it to happen, say June 1st, Major League Baseball says we're going to start the Arizona League, and one player gets sick, then you're going to continue games and just have that player quarantined, and it's going to be one after the other? Or do you stop the whole thing? I don't think we can start sports until we're ready. I don't think we can start a season. I don't think we should even think about starting a season until we're ready as a country to move forward. People are going to lose money. Players aren't getting paid right now, other than the mandated by the union and by MLB. Owners aren't making money. MLB teams, are going to struggle, and then minor league baseball teams are going to fold, by the major league shutting them down, right? The 42 teams that are going to keep going, but there are teams who need every season to keep going. And there are teams who just won't be able to participate anymore. There are teams that are going to have to fold now. And so we don't know the ramifications of this. We don't know what's going to happen because we don't know when we're allowed to go to a restaurant again, right? So until that point, we can't think about sports. What we can do, what I can do as part of this organization is to make sure that my players are okay, right? I can make sure that I'm okay. I can make sure that my family's okay. But now we have 1,000 players we work with, and I got to make sure that they're okay, because right now the teams are worried about the major leaguers, and they're worried about bottom line, and they're worried about starting. And there's upwards of 200 players in each organization that are struggling to make ends meet right now, who don't have the things that they need to even stay ready for when a season does begin. So I need to be able to work with these players. I need the time. Like, I need the energy. Like, I need the knowledge. Like, I need the things that are going to help my players be ready when the time comes, wherever they are.
Absolutely makes sense. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy, and you just don't know the ramifications to the fullest extent until things kind of settle down. But no, you're definitely right. There's going to be a lot of hardships going on as soon as things even begin to open up, and you really have to just see what happens, because like you said, it doesn't really sound like it's feasible. And there's so many different avenues. And I think Trout said, as you peel I think his quote was, as you peel the layers back, you just see how it becomes more and more unrealistic.
Yeah. And do I commend them for coming up with these ideas? Sure, of course. They want it to start, and they want people to talk about baseball or whatever, but we have to be smart. If we just say, okay, things are back to normal, and someone gets sick, and because someone gets sick, someone else gets sick, and someone else gets sick, and someone else gets sick because we decided to play baseball again, well, that's not good. I don't know how else to say it.
Right.
I think we have to acknowledge that we cannot force it. Cannot force things to go back to normal until we know for sure that my grandma won't get sick if she goes outside. Absolutely. Right? Because if she's afraid to go outside, then other people are going to be afraid to go outside. And then, we're going to be afraid to do things as a people again. And sports is going to suffer, and entertainment's suffering. And I get that. And people want to make money, and I understand that. But if, I'm afraid to go wherever, because what if I bring it back to my mother, who's 50 and has asthma and lung problem or whatever, right? And so if I go to a sporting event because I need to relax, I need to get away from it, and I get sick because I was at the sporting event, then go at your own risk, right? But I think we need to be smart with when it's not good to just say June 1st. Because we don't know what's going to happen at June 1st. I think we just have to make sure that we're all okay, and then we move forward. But there's a lot of this. We have to pay bills. So is there a right or wrong answer? I don't know. I'm not making the rules, right?
Right, yeah.
But, I think that as a sporting people, we fucking love sports, man. Sports is my life. Everything I do is because of baseball. Everything I have is because of baseball, and I want what's best for it, but I also want what's best for the community. And so, I just make sure that we can get together and move forward as people before we beg sports to come back.
Absolutely. Switching gears for a minute. So with everything being said about more than baseball, how would you say you use the skills as a baseball player to really start transcending into a businessman?
Oh boy, I don't know if I'm a businessman. I think you have to make money to be a businessman. Right. What I take from my years playing college, high school, college, professional is that every task is just another at bat. If I fail at this one task or didn't get this deal done or didn't whatever, well, there'll be another one. And so it's just understanding failure. Playing baseball for me was just different tasks that I needed to do to then, move forward and learn from, and then bring that knowledge to the next opportunity, right? And business is the same thing. I'm happy to be on this team with Simon and Slade. There's a camaraderie that comes with it. It's nice to be on a team and having a goal again. And it's acknowledging that. Like, I'm excited. Hopefully over the next year, we have an office. We have staff members. I can go into work every day and help assist this community. That's a goal of ours. And so I'm excited that baseball allows me the opportunity to do it. I learned that there's a lot of, in starting a business, there's a lot of struggles even to get heard from. And so it's kind of taking the little things from baseball and getting better at your sport, and you just apply that same energy into getting better at this. And so do I miss playing? Well, I'm on the Olympic team for Israel, and I was supposed to play independent baseball this year, but I find the same love for what I'm doing now as I did for when I was playing.
No, that's great. And, it's funny you bring it up, because that was my next thing is, how do you feel, you're doing all this stuff for baseball players, right? But you're still technically not removed from baseball, even though you're not in the minor leagues anymore. You are an outfielder for Team Israel. And like you said, it was supposed to be this year. And honestly, who knows? But you're still in the game. So, what kind of approach are you taking to stay ready and just kind of balance out what you have going on in more than baseball, as well as being an outfielder for Team Israel when it eventually does come back?
Right. It's just time management, do my work in the afternoon, and work, do my baseball work in the afternoon and do my work during the day. It's go throw. I don't have a facility to hit at right now. I don't have partners to throw with. I never used weighted balls, right? I never did that stuff. Right. It's like, what sorts of band work can I do? What running can I do? I would do that anyway, so I'm just trying to stay. It's hard to be baseball ready when you can't hit a baseball. And so I don't have a cage in my backyard, right? I don't. So, it's, now does an independent baseball season start this year? I don't think so. Because again, you can't force it. The Olympics are going to be next summer now, June of 2021. And so, it's get ready for next independent baseball season. Hope there's one this year. I wouldn't mind playing again, right? But getting ready for the season next year. And who knows if I hope there's one, but who knows if there is one. So it's just being ready when called upon. And, it sucks it's not this year, but, this is something we can't control. So you roll with the punches and you just take it as it is and you move forward. That's pretty much all you can do with something as unbelievably unique as this situation is.
Have you been keeping up with any of the tournaments that the players have been doing for MLB The Show?
No. Oh, boring. It's boring to play that game. I don't even want to watch it. What's funny though,
you're not a gamer?
No, I'm not a gamer. I have an N64, but you can't stream that, right? So we're starting an e-gaming. Bank of America is sponsoring our e-gaming series.
Wow.
So we're going to get players together with fans, or players together to play each other, and some big leaguers, some minor leaguers, some NBA players, some whatever. We're bringing all of this together to do some e-gaming, to raise money stuff. A bunch of this money is going to go to assisting players and then assisting food banks and local minor league communities. So we're going to work with some minor league teams now on behalf of this. So I'd say look out for that. I don't know when we're going to have a start date on that, but we're working on that now. And I think watching games, I can't believe it makes me strong as it does. I watched this League of Legends documentary the other day. It was unbelievable, but the game itself makes no sense to me. Watching someone play MLB The Show, what I think would be really cool is if you get Nolan Arenado and Mike Trout on a stream and they play home run derby against each other. I don't know. Maybe that would be interesting. Sure. I don't, but there are only a couple games where Fortnite, can I watch someone play a video game?
Call of Duty. Watch people put in work in Call of Duty.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I can see why kids like it. I can see why people like it, man. Some people find it just like I don't find watching tennis, fun. I think that some people are like, well, I love watching video games, and like I respect the hell out of them. It's making a buttload of money, and so if it's something that can help our players and the baseball community, I'm all for it. But like, if Fortnite is on channel, on FX, and I can watch a baseball game, I'll watch a baseball game instead of someone watching Fortnite. If it is Royals White Sox in July in a game that I don't care, I'd rather watch some boring baseball. Right now I'm watching like the 1987 World Series.
Ooh.
It's just on replay on the network. Like, that's exciting just to see what it was like, how they're throwing, what they're throwing, how these hitters are doing. Like, it's fun. It's interesting to go back and watch old basketball or old baseball.
Student of history, student of the game.
Are we gonna go, like? Am I gonna go back and watch like old Fortnite tournaments? I don't. But maybe it'll change me. Maybe I'll like. I suck at those games too. I have an N64 I live at home, right? So there's a Wii in there. There's my old PlayStation 2. Like that would be fun to stream. Playing Madden 06.
Madden 04 with Vic. Oh.
Madden, Madden, whatever. I think that would be cool. But some of these games are like way too advanced.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you get the eSports thing going pretty soon, I came out of retirement on Xbox in this quarantine. So these players want to come get to work. I'm more than happy to oblige.
I'll make sure that your gamer tag or whatever is somewhere. I don't know how it works. I'm not going to go on Twitch anytime soon, but I think it would be cool to, have guys play each other. Fans can watch and talk to the fans, talk to the players, and players talk to the fans and engage with the community of, kids who love baseball who want to talk to a professional athlete. I think that's going to be freaking super cool when we get that up and going. So I think that'll be awesome.
Yeah, you got to find the guys that are like Chad Johnson that'll just go on FIFA and play anybody random. They tweet.
I'll do. Actually, you know what? FIFA, I'll watch. FIFA.
He goes out on FIFA and he tweets, "All right, who wants to lose in FIFA?" I'm like,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
It's great. Yeah, I love when the athletes want to play, games with random people. The guy,
I did I played PlayStation 3. I played Call of Duty. Modern Warfare online with other people. I hadn't done that since maybe 2010, and it's 10 years later, and people are still playing that game.
Oh yeah,
I played it for, but I still did it. Like it was still people were still on it, which is awesome. Yeah.
But Jeremy Wolf, I appreciate you taking the time. You're doing a lot of great things. Keep it up. Keep yourself sane during this quarantine. Hopefully, everybody stays healthy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I'm John Venezia. Jeremy Wolf, thank you again.